If you've ever been investing and felt like you're just stuck in first gear, like you're not getting anywhere, you are definitely not alone. But what if I told you there's a specific financial milestone, a real tipping point, where everything changes and your wealth just starts building itself? Well, let's break down exactly what that is and why it's such a game changer. So, what is that magic number? The specific amount of money you need for your net worth to really, truly take off. It's a question that a lot of people get stuck on, but the answer is absolutely crucial for understanding how wealth is actually built.
All right, here it is. That number, that first huge milestone where the entire math of wealth building starts to shift in your favor, is $100,000. But you got to think of it less like a finish line and more like a launch pad.
But, of course, getting to that launch pad means you have to push through what we call the early grind. This is that first phase of investing that feels incredibly slow. And let's be honest, it can be pretty discouraging. So why does it feel like such a slog? Well, it's because in the beginning, your portfolio's growth depends almost entirely on one person, you. It's all about how much money you can physically save and contribute out of your own pocket. At this stage, your actual investment returns, they're barely even making a dent. And this breakdown right here shows you the reality of those first few years perfectly. See that huge bar? That represents your own contributions, the vast, vast majority of what your portfolio is worth. And that tiny little sliver next to it? Yeah, that's the actual growth from your investments. This, right here, is the grind.
But then you hit the tipping point. This is the moment the whole dynamic just flips on its head. It's that amazing inflection point where your money starts generating its own momentum, where it starts working for you instead of you always working for it. And the engine behind this incredible shift is compound interest. The best way to think about it is like a snowball. It starts off really small, right? But as it rolls downhill, it picks up more and more snow, getting bigger and faster all on its own. Your money does the exact same thing. It earns returns not just on your original investment, but on all the returns it's already made.
And that's why hitting that $100,000 mark is so important. It's the point where your snowball finally has enough mass to really start accelerating. Mathematically, the returns become big enough to actually notice in a meaningful way. And psychologically, oh man, seeing your money make real money for the first time, that is a massive, massive motivator.
This really puts the before and after into perspective. Before you hit 100K, your growth is driven by sheer brute force, how much you can save. But after you cross that line, your growth is supercharged by your investment returns. The whole engine of your wealth creation switches from your personal effort to your money's own power.
Okay, so we get the why. That's the exciting part. Now for the really important part, the how. Let's break down a super practical, actionable plan to get you to that first $100,000 milestone.
It all starts with a clear, specific goal. Next up, and this one is a total game changer, you have to automate it. Set up automatic transfers so you're investing without even having to think about it. Then, actively look for ways to increase how much you're putting in, even if it's just by a little bit. And finally, maybe the most important part of all, stay consistent. You got to stay the course through all the market's ups and downs, no matter what. And if you can do that, if you can stick to the plan, you get to the best part, the payoff. This is what happens after you've pushed through the grind and your wealth snowball is finally rolling all on its own. And this is the real magic. That first $100,000 is by far the hardest. Maybe it takes you 10 years to get there. But because of compounding, the second $100,000 might only take 5 years. The third, that could take less than 3. Your snowball becomes an avalanche, and at that point, you're just along for the incredible ride.
As one source put it so well, your net worth will simply go crazy once you cross this line. And that's not some kind of exaggeration. It's just the beautiful, powerful math of compounding finally unleashed.
So here's what I want you to remember. The journey to your first $100,000 is the hardest part of building wealth. It really is. It requires patience, it requires discipline. But once you're there, the game changes forever. So the only question left is, are you ready to start building your snowball?